This is Joe Biden, I would say somewhat less than rhythmic at Juneteenth celebrations. If you had to, if you just showed that lineup to people that were not apprised with current affairs, you said, which one of those people is in charge of the United States of America? I mean, I think I'd consider the man there in the sequined gown, Kamala Harris's husband, maybe Kamala herself, the black geezer in the glass. Joe Biden's maybe the last person I'd put in charge, just sort of on the basis of his ability to coordinate bodily movement. Yeah, they've got to stop sending him to these public events. Edward Snowden points out that this public error, we'll show you it in a second. This interesting thing about this clip, the one coming up, is that he's not merely stumbling on a word or misspeaking, which is normal and happens to everybody. This is something different. Why I like this is because Edward Snowden's one of the significant voices in helping us to understand the degree to which we were being surveilled, the amount of collaboration that takes place between big tech and communication companies and our government. And even Edward Snowden's a little taken aback by this. It's like, no, that's not normal. This is not normal cognitive decline. This is something to be concerned about. And think of the things that Edward Snowden's been exposed to.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
Because normally, in the word search of Joe Biden's communication, you can pick out what's actually being said. But there, in this one, I don't actually know. I don't know. If that was directions of how to get somewhere, you wouldn't be able to follow it, would you? Let's just try once more.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured. She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
She's not lost. She can't be denied. Our freedom will never be secured. Yeah, that's abstract. It's at best abstract. But on Morning Joe, the confidence remains high that Joe Biden is effective, potent, sharp as a tack, and it is indeed Donald Trump who is not well or mentally capable. Now, a lot of you are saying that you feel sorry for Joe Biden, and I appreciate that. Actually, I suppose, don't you think that ultimately, if human beings are eternal by virtue of the nature of our souls, then our moral and spiritual principles have to supersede our political convictions. So we've got to look at this from a spiritual perspective more than a political one. And from that perspective, you think, oh man, this is ridiculous. What's going on now? Donald Trump's on trial and has been convicted. Hunter Biden's been convicted. Joe Biden doesn't look capable of even sort of, if he was your grandfather, you wouldn't say to him, listen, I'm going out now. I want you to make a lasagna and remember to set the burglar alarm before you go out and make sure that our gun cupboard is fastened and secured, because you know what Hunter's like. He'll get on it and he'll be in that gun cupboard. You wouldn't trust him with ordinary domestic duty because of the requirement for, he needs compassion and he clearly needs guidance. Let's have a look at Morning Joe, though. Let's have a look at how the legacy media continue to frame these evident disparities favourably for the interest that they so vociferously support. That's why I suppose it's important that we remain, as best as we can, objective.
Again, it's just like the way we started this show. Trump is literally crazy on stage, and I say it not in a good way. Not well, not fit, not mentally capable of holding together a sentence when his prompter goes down. And yet Biden is constantly covered for being old, but yet travels onto the world stage doing speeches, dinners, important ceremonies.
This isn't actually what we should be discussing, is it? Who is in most radical cognitive decline? You know that my perspective is we need significant systemic and institutional change, radical decentralization, unifying only to oppose the corporate globalist giants that oppress us at every turn, that dominate our systems of parliament, government and Congress through financial coercion, through lobbying, through donation. If we're not going to address those problems, the personality parties that are in charge of our nations are not going to be significant. Perhaps the world won't meaningfully change regardless of who you vote for in 2024. Those are the conversations that perhaps we have to have. These are the institutions that we have to address. The idea that we're still talking about the personalities and the degree to which the potential leaders of the free world are experiencing senility suggests that we're living in little paddocks of sanctioned conversation and ignoring vast plains of possibility and potential radical change.
Recognizing people who suffered and survived D-Day,
right.
Spending time with them, connecting with...
That D-Day was a catastrophe, wasn't it? That's the bit where he was honouring people that were in the wrong direction. Didn't he leave a little too early? I know that was our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. Oh, it's a catastrophe, isn't it? It's an absolute catastrophe of leadership.
You see it all on video, except if you go to these places or you talk to those Republicans, you see the one time where he couldn't find his chair.
Well, but even that was
doctored.
a lie. It's disinformation. It's doctored.
This is where we are right now.
It's lies versus the truth. It really is. And let Republicans keep lying about Joe Biden. It's only going to help him in the end. It's only going to lower expectations so much that he's going to come out and do what he does at every State of the Union address. He's going to outperform because of all the lies that are told about him.
This is what I'm going to see, this kind of objectivity. Joe Biden's not in a good state. I don't know why the Democrats aren't putting forward a different candidate. I don't know why they didn't embrace RFK. It's ridiculous that guy had to leave the Democrat Party in order to run as an independent. I suppose it's an obvious revelation that this institution, the Democrat Party, is entirely owned by financial interests, by the military-industrial complex, by Big Pharma. Damn it, we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of serious trouble, and I suppose the evident decline, senescence and senility of Joe Biden is the perfect metaphor for the state of our nation and the state of these institutions. And if we don't embrace radical change, we're all in a lot of trouble. They're not going to say that, are they? There's two things Morning Joe spends his personal time on. That's ensuring that his hair looks fantastic, and it does, and ensuring that he fills the air with bombast around Joe Biden's faculties and capabilities, which he also does.
Hey, this is exciting. We've got a great partner today. It's Rumble. But beyond Rumble, it's Rumble's latest venture. Let me ask you first, are you a Sleepy Joe type character with zero cognitive performance, struggling to muster focus and brain power for basic things like running the United States of America? You've got to stop drinking woke liberal coffee that hates you and your way of life and start your day by drinking Rumble's very own 1775 coffee. This is going to be the best tasting coffee you've ever had. Seriously good, ethically sourced from a family farm in the high altitude mountains of Bolivia. Not in the Bolivian lowlands run not by a family but by a single man still living with a pet. No! Instead of waking up and drinking your big corporation owned woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, try Rumble's 1775 revolutionary coffee. Support freedom of speech. Build a parallel economy that actually values you and loves you. My favourite? It's dark, of course. I've always found the lure of the dark irresistible. I'm sorry, how can I stay mad at you? You're just going to have to wait over there for a little while. Level up your morning routine with a 1775 coffee. Sleep all night knowing your hard-earned dollary dues are going towards supporting freedom-loving creators like me on Rumble. Visit 1775coffee.com now, pick up your first bag, use the code BRAND to save 10% on your first order. Oh, come on. Why choose, you know?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.